Hi everyone, I'm Jackie and this is Yoga Literacy with the St. Louis Public Library. The theme for our practice this week is get comfortable being uncomfortable. In yoga, one place you can choose to go in your practice is somewhere that feels physically and mentally challenging, right to the edge of your ability, and to keep breathing and to stay and to train your nervous system to stay calm and aware during a challenge. And in life, the same is true. We can practice going right to the edge of our comfort zone, whether it's to the edge of holding yourself responsible for the choices in your life, or the edge of really being able to be with a loved one and really listen to them and really try to understand where they're coming from, or right to the edge of what you feel capable of in your job, or right to the edge of being seen and vulnerable with somebody else. A place that feels a little uncomfortable, but you can still breathe and you can be aware of what you're feeling and stay with it and get stronger from practicing that. As on our mats, we strengthen our muscles, our tissues, our concentration, our commitment to our practice. We can take that skill off of the mat and face life with more courage, more awareness, more skill, more grace, more faith. So that's what we're practicing this week. Comfortable being uncomfortable. We're gonna hold some challenging poses, breathe through them. It's gonna be fun. And the book I'm recommending this week is a newly released title called Yoga Where You Are. It's by Dianne Bondy and Heagberg. This is a book available through Overdrive. It's an ebook. You do have to put a hold on it. But it's a great book that shows modifications for lots of different yoga poses. So when I say get comfortable being uncomfortable, I'm not saying hurt yourself or do too much. There's modifications I'll provide in this practice and modifications you can find in this book as well. We want to go right to the edge of the challenge and a place where you know where it is because it's a place where you can keep breathing. All of your attention is pulled into it. It's challenging enough that all of your attention's just right there, but you're not panicking and you're not in pain. So if you can keep breathing deeply when you focus on it, you're at a good spot. If it starts to feel painful or takes your breath away or you feel panicky, come out of the pose. All right, let's get started. Lying on our backs again this week. My little sweater over there. Okay. So you can start with your knees bent, your feet on the ground. Interlace your fingers and press your hands up towards the ceiling. Push your feet into the ground, forward and into the ground as you take your arms overhead and reach your palms towards the back of the space. As you're reaching overhead with your hands, pushing down into the floor, press your back low ribs into the ground. Feel how that starts to engage your core muscles. Deep breath in. And tuck your hands behind the back of your head. And let your shoulder blades come towards each other on your back. Come up onto the tips of the big toes. And begin just like a light prance. You're bringing one knee in towards your torso at a time, and you're just lightly tapping the tops of the balls of your feet. What am I saying? Your big toes. That was it, onto the floor. So breathe, press your back low ribs into the ground. And nice and easy like this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees in. Squeeze, lift your hips, and bring the bottoms of your feet to the ground. A little wider than your hips. Arms go down to your sides. Push into your feet, lift your hips up, and go down. Let's do that again. Add your arms up and overhead as your hips lift. And exhale down. So just like that, press your feet, lift your hips, and lower. 2 more.
Last one. This time when your hips come down, bring your knees in towards your chest, lift your head and squeeze into a ball. You release, legs straight up towards the ceiling. Ankles flexed, back low ribs pressing down. Lower your right leg as far as you can go down while keeping your back low ribs pressed into the floor. And back up. Left side lower. And back up. We'll do this side to side. Inhale, go down. Exhale, back up. And again, don't go lower than you can go while keeping your back low ribs pressed towards the floor. So maybe it's just a few inches. I'm starting to feel this. Let's do one more round, right side. And left side. With both legs up, reach your arms up, tap your toes, whoop, and back down, knees in, begin to rock, up and down your spine. If that's not comfortable for your spine, roll to one side instead. We'll come up to a seat. All right, you can sit with your legs crossed, or if it's not comfortable, legs stretch out. We're just doing a little bit of warm-up movement for the spine. Circles to the right, forward, left, and back. Right, forward, left, and back. Again. These can be small circles too. Next time you're back, switch directions. You can feel your shoulder blades moving. Feel this like almost a little massage for muscles of your core and even your abdominal organs. And circle back. Sit tall, give your shoulders a few rolls. Shrug up and down. And again. Okay, fingertips to the ground, side to side, right arm, and down. Left arm, and down. That's the pattern. Keep both sides of your seat rooted to the floor. And move with your breath. Inhale to take your arm up. Exhale to take it down. Once more each side. Okay, now fingertips to the ground. Look down or close your eyes. Draw your chin a little bit in towards your throat and bring your navel up and back towards your spine. Relax your jaw. And take a moment if you'd like to set an intention for your practice. An area of your life that feels a little uncomfortable to move towards, but at the same time, important or essential, necessary for your growth. And you can use that as the devotion for your practice today. All right, come to your hands and your knees. Spread your palms out onto the ground, tuck your toes. Let's go back to a downward facing dog. Now, if you've been practicing along in the series, you've been practicing your down dog too. Remember, you can bend your knees, lift your hips up and back, almost like a rope wrapped around your waist is drawing your hips up and back. You'll push your hands into the ground and use your core muscles to lift your hips. Let's pedal the knees a few times here. Spread the bones of your fingers, your hands. And now come forward to a plank, okay, or a modified plank. So shoulders over the wrists either way. You can tap your knees down directly below where they are now. Push the floor away with your hands. 5 deep breaths. Inhale, lift your sternum a bit. Exhale, relax your jaw. Inhale, push your hands down into the ground. Exhale, squeeze your upper arm bones towards each other. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, draw your navel in. Stay with me. 2 more deep breaths. Go right to the edge. Maybe that means lowering your knees for this last breath. Maybe it means lifting them. Okay, exhale, nice job. Knees do tap down. Now bend your arms, lower down to hover halfway. Then push the ground away, straighten your arms, squeeze the arm bones towards each other, and hips go back towards the heels. That's a little flow we'll do, a little repetition of movement with the breath. Start in child's pose. Forward to a knees down plank, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, bend your arms, elbows point back, halfway down, then press up, squeeze, and back to child's pose. Keep going if that works for you. I'm going to show a modification if it doesn't. Your modification is table, a little bend in the arms, a push up. Back to child's. If your wrists are starting to hurt here, come down onto your forearms. Okay? And push down into your elbows and forearms as you come forward. Squeeze your forearms together. Let's do 2 more rounds. I'm going to go back to the original version I showed. Down and up. Keep breathing deeply. Keep your face relaxed. Nervous system calm. Last time, we're going to go all the way down. So if you're doing one of the modifications, meet on your belly. Bring your forearms forward. Scooch back. So your forearms are parallel. Your elbows are not back from your shoulder. They're under the shoulder or a little bit forward. Sphinx pose is what this is called. And we'll spread out our palms. Without moving your hands, drag them back towards your chest. Feel how that helps your chest lift. Then lift each of your legs and reach your legs back so they feel a little bit longer and tops of the feet are on the ground. All right, pull the hands back, lift your chest. Try to keep your chest this lifted as you take your right arm back and your left arm back. It'll go down a little bit, and lift your legs too. Palms face up. Inhale. Exhale, turn your palms to face down. Inhale, lift chest and thighs. Exhale, press down into your pubic bone. 3 more breaths. If it's too much, bring your hands down or your legs down. But try to keep one up. 2 more breaths. Lift. Exhale. Stay with me, lifting. Exhale, hands stack, rest your forehead on your hands. Relax your glutes. And you can take your feet side to side like windshield wipers. Okay. Bring your feet back to the ground, palms alongside your floating ribs. Now tuck your toes, lift your navel away from the floor, and press up to your modified plank. Okay, we go back to our downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward towards your hands. Fold. Slight bend in your knees. Head and chest relax down. And come all the way up to stand. You can keep that little bend in your knees, arms up and overhead. Hands come down to the chest. Take a moment, check in. Deep breaths. Heel toe your feet in so they are underneath your femur bones. Stretch your arms overhead. Okay. As you exhale, bend your knees, send your hips back like you're sitting in a chair, and let your arms swing back too, so your fingertips are pointing behind you and your navel's drawing in. Inhale, come back up. Your arms can go over your head or parallel to the floor. Exhale, right back into that position, that chair position with the arms down. Back up and down. Keep going. Draw your navel in, chest lifted, and use the strength of your legs to push the ground away as you come up. Okay, are you ready to hold a chair? Go back. Keep your legs like this. Take your arms either parallel to the ground or up alongside your ears. 5 breaths here. Stay with me. Hips back, navel in. Can you lift your toes? Challenge yourself and breathe. Breathe and let the intensity transform. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath, we got it. Inhale, rebound up. Hold onto your right wrist with your left hand, lean to the side. Back to the center, inhale. Switch hands, stretch to the other side. Back to the center. Arms release down, and they meet behind you. Either clasp your hands or bring your hands to your low back. Either way, broaden your chest. Press down through your feet. And slide your hands down your legs, fold chest down towards your thighs. Half lift, breathe in. Right foot back with your knee down, breathe out. Your fingertips can be on the ground on either side of your left foot. If that's a little tricky, you can bring them inside. If you happen to have yoga blocks, you could use them here. Now tuck the right toes. Lift your right knee. Push your heel towards the ground like you're trying to push your heel onto a big red button behind you. And you're as light on your fingertips as you can be here. We're going to lift the fingers off the ground. Inhale. Exhale, lower. That's 1. Go to 5. Inhale. Exhale, lower. 2. Inhale. Exhale, lower. That's 3. Inhale. Exhale, lower. 4. Push down into your front foot to come up. And 5. Exhale. Spin your right foot to the floor. Walk your hands. Come into a wide leg fold. Feet parallel. Head goes down. Fingertips push into the ground. Lift your chest so your spine parallels the floor. Lift your navel up and chest forward. And exhale back down. Do that again. Inhale, lift. Lift your navel up. Lift your chest forward. Exhale down. 1 more time. Lift your kneecaps up towards your thighs as you lift. And lower. And then walk your hands to the back of your mat. We'll do that same lunge on the other side. Start with your back knee down. Fingertips on the ground on either side of the front foot. Then tuck back toes, lift the knee up, press the heel back, squeeze your kneecap up towards your thighs. On breath in, lift your fingertips. Exhale down. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale down. For 3. For 4. and 5. Okay, hands walk back around, back to this fold. Turn your toes out 45 degrees. Begin to bend your knees towards your pinky toes, and hands go to the tops of your thighs. Okay?
So feet are nice and wide, wider than the shoulders. Turn your right shoulder down, chest to the left. Back to the center, and to the other side. Left shoulder down, turn to the side. Once more, each side. At the center, now your toes are facing the corners of your mat. We're gonna push down into the feet, straighten the legs, and imagine drawing inner thighs towards each other as your feet press down. Take your arms up and overhead. Stick out your thumbs, point your thumbs towards each other. We'll exhale, bend the arms, bend the knees, sit low into the hips. And then back up, straightening the legs, inner thighs draw together. And again, back up. We do 3 more. And if you want, you can stick out your tongue as you exhale down. The last one we hold. You can do it. Bend, palms can be wide, hips go low, navel's in, chest is up. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Stay with me. Inhale. Exhale, 3. You can always take your hands to your hips if that feels hard for your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Whew, straighten the legs, bring your arms up and overhead. Okay, turn your toes so they parallel each other. Fold down towards your left side, bring your right hand towards your left foot, ankle, shin, however low you can go. Release, sweep your hands over to the other side. Left hand goes to the right foot. Release. Walk your hands back up to the top. Step forward, fold. Then half lift, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Forward to a plank, breathe in. And from here, or with your knees down, remember from before, bend your arms all the way down onto your belly. Take your arms out like a cactus on the sides. Legs can be a little wider than your hips. As you breathe in, lift your chest and your arms. Exhale, lower. We'll alternate, so do the same thing with your legs now. And lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Legs lift. And lower. Let's do 1 round. Lift as high as you can without causing pain for your low back. Lift as much of your thigh as you can. And go down. Okay, now lift both at the same time. And breathe. 5 breaths. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Reach your toes back like your legs are getting longer. Calm breath. 2 more breaths. Stay with it.
And release. Rest your head to one side. Relax your arms where they're comfortable. Bend your knees and give a little wave side to side with your feet. Okay. Press back up to your hands and knees. We've got one more challenging pose, but first come to Child's Pose. In Child's Pose, bring your forearms to the ground and interlace your hands like that. Have your elbows about as wide as your shoulders. Push down into your forearms, the bones of your forearms. Get a sense for that feeling. Then lift your hips away from your heels. You'll walk your arms a bit forward so that in table, your elbows stay underneath your shoulders. And you can stay here. We're practicing a pose called Dolphin Pose. That's a really great strengthening exercise for the shoulders, for the core. And this is step number 1, just pressing into the ground with your forearms. Step 2 is tuck the toes, lift the knees. Just like downward dog, but we're on our forearms. Now this is a good modification for you if you're noticing that your wrists start to hurt in planks and down dogs. You can come onto your forearms. If you want a little more challenge, begin to walk your feet towards your arms and stop when it feels like you're right at your edge. Keep pressing your arms down into the ground. Use your core to lift your hips up and back. Find the right place for you and inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3, forearms down, hips up and back. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Lower your knees. Relax your arms. Rest your head on your hands. And take your feet to one side. Find a comfortable seat on the ground. Take your right arm up and over, your left hand to your right elbow. And let your hand go down your back. And release. Take your right arm behind your back and your left ear towards your left shoulder. Switch sides, release your arm. Left arm comes up and over. Right hand to the elbow. And hand comes around behind your back. Left ear, left shoulder. Release your arms, rest your hands in your lap, take a few circles with your neck. Soothing, winding down. And go the other way. When you're ready, come lie down on your back. If you're not comfortable lying down, you can always stay seated. Shavasana, the last pose of yoga classes, of yoga practice, lying down. You can have a pillow or a cushion underneath your knees if that helps your low back. Arms and legs out wide. Feel the back of your body release into the floor. Spine melting down. Abdomen softening. Jaw relaxing. And if you set an intention at the start of practice, or if there's an area of life where you're wanting to move into the discomfort, the healthy discomfort, and practice breathing and staying calm staying aware and connected to yourself, bring that back to mind. And take some nice deep breaths as you think of and picture that situation, that relationship, or that issue. As you're ready, bend your knees, roll to one side,
Come up to a seat. Close practice with the hands coming together at the chest. And we'll bow to each other. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next week.